Does that hurt you?
Is this good?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Are you ready?
What can't she do?
Songs for masseuse.
Songs for masseuse.
Go. Oh, hi guys. The first question. Just got dumped 2 weeks ago. Literally thought I was going to marry the man. What do I do?
Woohoo! Yeah! Yeah!
It's like I'm literally the man. Yeah. When we were out, I was holding her and she was like so sweet and I was like, oh, she's so cute, and I was like, oh, and then she woke the fucking child up. I was like, shut up.
Stephanie was like, Saoirse!
Okay, wait. Well, oh yeah, I'm going towards
breakup.
I thought of this yesterday. Basically, what I do is just you have different stages of grief. First is shock, and then you get angry and blah blah blah. I think first of all, don't be friends with them. Don't stay in contact with them. Cut off all contact, and just let your body feel angry. And it doesn't even have to be like anger. It doesn't have to be like you have to like say anything to them. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be angry if you're angry, and you just have to be sad if you're sad. And distracting yourself, being around loads of people, but it depends on which phase you're in. But what was I gonna say? Affirmations help me the most. Just to literally, as soon as I wake up,
songs for affirmations.
Literally, like as soon as I wake up, I put on affirmations in the morning. Like just like, I am confident, I am beautiful, and this is such an exciting time because now you're like, I think being stripped from everything that when you feel like your life is falling apart and you feel like you're stripped of everything that you have, that's when you're most free, and that's when you can most be with yourself, and that's when you come home, because you come home to yourself and you have no other distractions, and you're not inside anyone else, you're just inside yourself, and that's really nice. And now is the time that you can kind of nurture that home that you have for yourself. And
depending on other people as well, like when we were like, oh, like going out,
yeah,
a boyfriend is so much more comfortable for you because you're like, oh, I feel safe if that person is, but like now's the time to like jump out of that and like go out on your own and not be dependent on anyone else to look after you. Do you know what I mean?
And also because I was thinking this in the shower. I always give too much detail, but I always say that, you know. I was thinking about this in the shower. I have to give people.
No, shower is good.
Well, I was thinking about this in the shower, but I was like, I had that when I was going through a breakup. But I was like, you know, with someone, and then I was like so like happy about going out, like it was so fun, and then we like broke up, and then I was like, I don't like going out right now, like being around people makes me want to cry, but like that's fine. Just and if you're not ready to go out, don't go out. Do you know what I mean? Because that's just not what you want to do right now, and don't attach that with the person. Don't be like, oh my god, I just enjoyed going out because of that person. You're not enjoying going out right now because you've just got broke. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A bit too specific there, guys. You're not enjoying going out because you know what I mean, you're going through a breakup and you need to heal. Do you know what I mean? So whatever, you know, but if you want to go out and get fucking drunk, like you kind of need to get it out of your system.
Everyone has different coping mechanisms.
Do you know what I mean? And just and you know what I mean, if you want to have sex with your ex and you're, you know, that's fine.
Sometimes you need the validation that it's the right thing to do to have sex one more time.
Guys, also, sorry, but sometimes because you need to but sometimes you go back to someone again and again and again till you get turned off them. And I think that's a very girl thing to do. It's like we kind of know that we don't like them or whatever, or don't want to be with them, but we need to remind her and to kind of like do it again and again and again until you're actually repulsed by them. Do you know what I mean?
You stop the clicking somehow.
Let me just get my screwdriver out.
I think as well though, like, you know, the way you were saying, like going back to like a boyfriend or going back to an ex, like, and having sex with them and stuff like that, or like seeing them and meeting up with them. I think that's still in my head.
Yeah, I know exactly the clicking. Should
Yeah.
maybe just leave her, because I used to leave her and then I just rock her again and she starts crying.
Okay.
So I think it's okay.
I think mommy tip there, little tip.
I'm like, this is what I do with my kids.
Very good.
Okay, go on.
I actually forgot what I was saying.
Wait,
going back, like, I think there is a point though where you're just fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you carry on doing that and it's hurting you, it's like, I explain it as
You're
like,
addicted though,
it's like,
to like the hurt.
okay, so say for example, it's like, say, so you're addicted to drugs, right? And you go out and you're like, oh, like, I'm just gonna have like this one, you know, drug because, a little bit of drug because a little bit of drug, not saying anything specific, a little bit of drug because, because like, you know, it's so fine, it's not gonna do
it's
much.
only one time.
It's only once.
Yeah.
But then like you're still gonna feel the backlash of that once. It's like when you meet up with a boyfriend, like an ex-boyfriend, and you've met up with them many times, and you feel the same fucking way when you walk away from them or you leave them, and you're like, oh my god, like this is so shit. Why did I do that? It's kind of the exact same thing. It's like you're kind of like, I know obviously it's hard to not go back, and it's hard to, if you have an addiction and all this kind of stuff, alcohol, drugs, anything, boyfriends love.
But it is actually
it's an addiction. It's like you're addicted to the hurt. But then it gets to a stage where I'm like, I don't feel sorry for you because you're you know, but this is like at the very end of it.
Yeah.
I like for myself, like when I was doing stupid shit like that, it got to a stage where people were kind of not giving me advice, and I knew what I was doing, and like the only advice I needed from someone was, you know, if this makes you feel better, go and do it. And I'm like, exactly, because I don't care what you say, I'm gonna do it anyway. So I think it gets to a stage where, like, say for example, when one of my friends are doing it, I'm like, okay, I feel for you, and at this stage you're fine, but now you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Do you know? And
No,
they need to hear that too.
Yeah, no, I needed that during breakup as well, just to be like, just so you know, this isn't helping you, I'm not going to give you advice anymore because you're not taking it. And that's fair enough, but you can always be there for your friends.
Yeah.
I found that, like when I went through a breakup, I watched a TED Talk to get over heartbreak.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
I'm so
I do that as well.
I'm like, what's the solution? I need to be fixed right
Yeah,
now.
I'm
But
so
like,
like
the best thing to do is actually feel your hurt. Like, because you need to feel sad, and don't be like, I'm such a freak because I'm not over this in 3 weeks. Like, that's totally unrealistic.
Yeah.
It takes ages to get over a
It took me
breakup.
2 years.
It takes so long.
Wait, that's like coffee shops and
I
everything
feel
for
like
like hours.
I feel like left out because your back is turned.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Song sports. Yeah, like 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Waiting outside coffee shops for this lad. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like the last time I met up with him was the time that like I turned. Do you know what as well? It was like, remember we were talking about this. It's like you have a really good time the last time you see them, and it's like because you're like getting along as a friend. You're getting along as a friend. You have this conversation.
There's no pressure.
There's no pressure, and like the last time I saw this person that I waited outside a coffee shop for hours pretending to draw, he like when I left it, I was like, oh my god, I needed that one last encounter. Now I'm fucking done. Ew, hallelujah, like blocked on everything. Hasta luego. But yeah, some people do need that, but I find, as we said, like obviously you can be there for your friends, but they tough love as well.
Yeah.
You need to hear it.
I think but it depends on the type of person you are.
I think that personally, if someone was like to me, like at that time being like, this isn't good for you, I would be like, fuck off, because I know, and I'm already ashamed of myself enough. I feel like people know that, but they need to be reminded, and you can say it like in like a nice way, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like, because you just need to be reminded of the truth, which is that like you're perfectly perfect by yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're perfect by yourself, and you don't need this other person, and this person isn't like symbolic of your joy or your happiness, and you're not lacking at all. That's what you need to be reminded of, you know what I mean? And so reminding them that, like reminding them things like that. Also for this person, just find the wisdom in it as well. I listen to a lot of Ram Dass as well, or like any spiritual teachers that just like, I put it on in the background all the time, anything that can benefit me, do you know what I mean? So it's like I'm rewiring my brain to be okay, and it's just, I think that breakups are so good. Like I actually like thrive in it for some reason. Like,
yeah, I love breakups as well.
Like,
it is like such a changing, it's like a forced change in your life, and it makes you look inward and you know, have introspection, self-awareness, and actually look back, and especially women as well, because we always want to be better. We all, like men do not experience breakups the same way women do. Women are like, this is an opportunity for me to improve. This is an opportunity of me to look at the good things in life as well. Whereas men are just like, I'm seeing kids every day. Now I'm not seeing kids.
Now it's like, oh, when we go and get on the pool,
a relationship with the god awful goblin, you'll have hindsight bias. You'll have hindsight bias and look back with rose-tinted glasses and be like, I'm never going to get anything better than this. Nothing is going to be ever the same. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve anyone. They'll be the best I'll ever get. Blah blah blah. But also, what was I going to say? That is just it's from subconscious validation that you're getting in your relationship. We don't realize it, even when you think you're really self-secure and you have a high self-esteem. When you're with someone, you don't realize how much you were maybe relying on them for validation until they're gone. And I think that's what makes sometimes we rush into a relationships immediately where we're trying to find someone quickly because you want to emulate that experience of feeling safe and reassured in that you're lovable. It's like, it's not even from that person, but it's just so that other people think you're lovable. I didn't care what my partner actually thought of me. I just wanted other people to say, oh no, she's lovable. Like,
someone wants her.
She's lovable. People must think she's pretty because she's with someone.
And also like all my like self-beliefs about myself, you know, the way you like have these random self-beliefs, like whenever I'm in a relationship and those kind of like horrible beliefs about myself come up where it's like other people will think this of me, I'm always like, oh, it's fine because I have a boyfriend. Like one of the things I have is like I'm like really paranoid of people thinking I'm trying to get with their boyfriend.
You said this before.
Yeah, I'm like so paranoid. Well, it's because I've been accused of it multiple times. I'm just an easy target for it.
Sorry, she's been accused of getting with my boyfriend, current.
Oh yeah, I literally have.
Like other people.
Yeah,
like, so
exactly.
Weird.
I don't know why I'm just an easy target, but anyways, but I don't want to like put that in the universe. But it's just such an insecurity that because like then I imagine like their girlfriend being like, oh, I feel like you're trying to get with Saoirse, and then the boyfriend like saying awful things about me to make his girlfriend feel better because that's such a thing that happens in relationships. But like it's like I don't know. But anyways. Oh yeah, but if I have a boyfriend, I'm like, oh my god, it's grand because they know that I love my boyfriend. You know what I mean? So
if you're like protected.
And also, to this person, also let yourself like be angry at them and be horrible about them because like it's just I feel like you know what I mean. It's literally so easy to get over someone if you just shit on them, and I try not to do that because I feel like forgiveness is the answer. Do you know what I mean?
Just shit on
but forgiveness and love heals all. But like sometimes you just have to be like just like you know what I mean.
I will say one thing though, like so you don't be angry within your group of friends.
Yes,
that's
what I mean.
Shitting on people. If you, God forbid, don't publicly shit on people, or like, say for example, like if your ex gets into a new relationship, the person that you just broke up with, you don't need to badmouth that person. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm coming from the perspective, I'm someone who did go crazy, crazy loco after a breakup, and I was shitting on him publicly, and I really regret doing it. And I'd have so much shame, but I went insane, and I didn't know myself. But that's because I didn't know how to heal, and I had no coping mechanisms.
Of course.
I was just like, this is the only way I know how to do this to explode on the inside.
I was thinking about this last night because as well, I think about my exes and I'm like all of them, yeah. I have this feeling where it's like so nice that like someone that you know you're in a relationship, someone that knows all my secrets isn't gonna.
Missy's trying to get in.
Missy.
Very Michael Jackson balls over here. Hiding the kids. Do you know that? Oh yeah. It's like blankets on them.
Yeah, that's alright.
If your ex is like flourishing and you're not flourishing yet, like there's no point
flourishing.
Flourishing.
Flourishing. It needs to be closer to your face.
Oh no, I was saying something,
but yeah, it just like there's no point in shitting on them like publicly, like throw it in your group chat with your mates, but like don't like, do you know what I mean? There's no point. Are you fixing my hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
No, yeah, I was saying it's so nice to have someone who's your like ex and they know all these secrets about you and that they don't tell anyone else, even though you don't like each other. But that was just random. But then I was like, but anyways, but I don't know, it's fine actually. No, but anyway, shut up. But yeah, just don't talk about.
We're just going on.
Sorry,
we're just going on about this. It's always to do with the exes. We're like,
yeah, I know.
Give me a second. Like we
it actually is my forte. I just feel like I actually just have the most insight from the breakups that I've had. Like that's where my most like
you learn more about the most about yourself when you're going through a breakup.
Exactly.
I found because it like forces you to actually look at yourself. Whereas when you're with someone, you're just kind of like, I'm in love.
Yeah, I know. You actually are.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's this like I remember feeling like when I was with my ex, I was like wanted to like take care of myself, if you know what I mean. But it was like there was this barrier because it was like he was just like above me or something. It was like I couldn't really like proper indulge in myself because I was with someone else. But anyways, the next is how to start a YouTube account and get over fear of judgment.
Oh, I can tell you all about this. So
no, but it's to do with anything in your life. If like you're scared of something, to do something or go for something because you're scared of what other people think. It's like general, I suppose, way. I would find, like, I always wish that I started YouTube earlier because I came to the I learned so much about myself like doing it and kind of my own style, if you get me. But it took me a long time to get there, and obviously I knew that people were slagging me, but you have to be sort of delusional in a way where you just have to keep telling yourself, no, everyone loves it, even though people were probably slagging the shit out of me, and people probably still slag the shit out of me and hate watching me or whatever. But it's so much like the love and the community I found and the enjoyment I get out of it is so much overpowers it way more than like the hate that comes with it, I suppose. Well, to a certain extent, like not recently obviously with what's been going on, but like most of the time it is always worth it, especially if I'm like helping someone get through something or being able to have the ability to make someone feel an emotion is really powerful, especially if it's like love or excitement for life or whatever. Obviously if it's not sadness or anger, but like sometimes sadness and anger can be helpful or useful in a way. But I think having the way music, I always was jealous of musicians because music can make people feel so much and like be attached to a memory or whatever. But like I've met people who've made friendships because both of them, they found out like both of them watch me or whatever. So I think that's like what makes it all worth it, I guess.
For sure.
And I would have started earlier if I wasn't so scared of what other people thought of me.
I think anything you do, someone's gonna judge you no matter fucking what.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say that there. Like when I started my tattoo account, this is no word of a lie, guys. I don't think I've told you about this. This is no word of a lie. I started the tattoo account and I didn't actually make it, my ex made it for me. And I say people like, would they just stop talking about their exes? But anyway,
I feel like I always say me and my ex.
Yeah, I know, I always do it as well. But like my ex made it for me. And it was like he made it for me, and anyway. But this is no joke. This girl put on her story who. I'll tell you who it is later. She put on her story. So my tattoo page was made, and at the time where I wanted to start tattooing was from another girl who I got inspiration from, but she was also my friend. So like she was there like egging me on, being like start a tattoo page. Like she was moving to a different country, so she was like,
I know.
She was like, I'll tell all my clients to go to you. All this, that, the other.
Then that's so nice.
It's so nice because you just don't get that with people with like,
especially in Ireland, everyone's so competitive.
So competitive.
Yeah. They just want to tear you down. Rather than help you.
Oh my god, so bad. So this girl who, I thought I was friends with her. Yeah. I had made the page. Everyone was sharing it on their story, and then she went, and this is no joke, put on her story, tags the original tattoo artist that I got inspiration from starting, and goes, the best stick and poke artist around, wouldn't go anywhere else, to be honest. And like that was when everyone was sharing, like it was so obviously aimed at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is there a need to be so horrible? But like there's always gonna be someone there
who's
judging
jealous.
you.
But also
always.
people like are dying to be themselves and dying to express themselves because they're afraid of judgment. They think it's too close to you. They're like the
really bad at that job.
They're like the audacity. The reason why they send you hate, or they're seething with rage, and it's like, why do you care that much? First of all, do you not have your own life to worry about? But it is, even though they probably won't admit it, subconsciously is they're thinking the audacity of that person to be able to be themselves when I'm so scared to be myself.
Wow.
Mama.
Rawr. I'm gonna write that in my notes. I'm gonna write that in my notes.
What I do also is just that I actually wasn't really that afraid before I made my YouTube channel. I remember being
hello, me's big sister. You wouldn't be. Are you joking?
I wouldn't, because I already had like a bit of a following in Keelan and stuff. But I remember being younger and being like, I'm gonna do that when I'm not right now, because I know I'll be more confident when I'm older, and I actually did. But what I try to think of everything like that I do artistically is just like, I'm just doing this because I enjoy it, because it's so hard not to get caught in that, like, you know, especially in Dublin, like mindset of like, I need to be successful. This is what success is. Success is like doing bits, and success is getting a lot of followers and whatever. But you have to ask yourself, what's your intentions with this YouTube channel? Do you want to help people? Do you know what I mean? What's your purpose?
And you have to keep reminding yourself that as well.
Exactly. And then you remind yourself, my purpose of this is to help other people. My purpose of this is to enjoy it. And like, I remember one time I I just like have trained myself to just let go before I post something. And like I think, as you'll know from like my Instagram, where it's like I'll just post, like if I started just posting when I was trying to sabotage my kind of persona or whatever, because I would be afraid of posting something. If I was afraid of posting something, I would be like, no, fuck off, and then I'd post it anyways, just to kind of like piss myself off, like just to rebel against that, like, oh no, do you know what I mean, for no reason. And so now I've trained myself to like just let go and be like, I'm just gonna post this, it's gonna help someone, and like my vulnerability will help someone else. And it's so vulnerable, even like if you're not talking about your feelings or anything, it's like so vulnerable to actually just put yourself out there. And like, oh yeah, I remember one time I was like, this is like not about YouTube, but like I was like just about like your like artistic expression, I guess. I was like at like a gathering with my friends, and I like sang, and I never really sang for anyone, and I was singing, and then I was drunk, and then the next day I was so embarrassed, because I was like, that's so embarrassing, because I was giving it socks, and I was probably so shit.
Whoa.
I literally was like, I'm proud. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I just love singing, and that's why I'm singing. I'm not singing because I'm trying to show off. I'm not singing because I'm the best singer in the world. I'm just singing because I enjoy it. And everything you do in life is just to enjoy it. And like, I know that's like obvious and cliche, but you forget, because you get caught in everyone else's, you know, opinions and stupid things that just don't matter at all. You're successful as soon as you enjoy yourself. Do you know what I mean?
And if you're not harming anyone, and someone else is pathetic enough to be critiquing you over you doing something because you enjoy it, and it's not harming them directly, fuck off. It's literally embarrassing at that stage.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with you. Anyone's else's opinions of you.
I need one of those like
have nothing.
You know, the ones like like that. No, guys, manifesting. Okay, so for the new year, this is one of my goals. I'd love to record the podcast in one of those studios where there's a couch and the microphones.
Guys, I love watching those like things on TikTok where they have the microphones.
Yeah,
and like they have,
and they're all cozy,
and
they have the headphones on.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah,
I'd love that.
Oh my god, I'd love that. Next question.
Oh, look at the baba.
Did you hear she was here laughing while you guys were talking, but she was looking up at me, she goes,
do you want to have a smoke with me after this?
Maybe.
How to keep feeling desirable when single for a long time? Oh Jesus, I don't know.
Oh no, that's a really tough one.
I really struggle with my. Just fucking flirt, bitch.
How do you feel desirable when single for a long time? Well, I personally think that what does desirable mean?
Like people want you.
Sexy, sort of.
Sexy. I don't know.
Podcast.
I don't know. That's a hard question, because like for me, feeling I don't think I've like. Okay, you know, remember we were talking about walking up here, and I was like, I don't wear revealing clothes. I like don't wear revealing clothes, and I don't put myself out there as sexy. Like maybe once in a while if I'm going
male
to like,
gaze sexy queen.
Male gaze what?
Male like
gaze, so that men find you sexy. You know?
No, but you don't present yourself to the male gaze where it's like you don't like, you know what I mean, wear sexy clothes to be desired by men. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
but being desired by men doesn't mean you're desirable.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think this is stupid. Will we change?
Do you know what? It's easy to pander to the male gaze because they're so fucking stupid.
This girl's talking about feeling desirable.
Yeah, but that's probably we don't know if it's to men or not, but usually if someone is straight.
Oh, it's so easy.
It's so easy because all they're literally like, I swear to God, any girl I know, and personally I know from experience, when you bleach your hair blonde, you get so much unwarranted and unsolicited attention off men. I've gotten, I remember I bleached my hair when I was 21, and I got followed off the dart twice in 1 week. Like, that is horrible.
Stunning.
So it's like, sometimes you
love. Sometimes I am stunning.
done it.
But like, I was obviously upset. It's so fucking scary for that to happen. And I got fucking flashed as well once.
What?
Yeah, and his
By a
penis,
man or a
and a man, and his penis was tiny as well. I was like, put it away.
Oh,
you know, it's
stop.
horrible.
That's
But it's like
Cocktail
the amount of
sausage.
unwarranted attention. Now I'm just like, I couldn't care. It's not satisfying or something because it's like this
It's not.
is
Well,
too easy.
it's just no. Well, as well, it's just like get like
So dumb.
seeking male validation is just like this hole that you just keep digging and you're never satisfied. I feel like as soon as I have the desire to be desired, I'm like fuck, because then I feel like I'll just keep looking and looking, and then I feel desperate and I
You
feel
never get
horrible.
satisfied.
So I just don't even go there. You don't need to feel desired. You only need to feel desired by yourself. And another thing is just like, because you want this like male validation, or you want this validation to feel desired, but like you're inherent, you know what I mean, you're inherently desired because you're inherently loved, and you just need to like write down on your phone or something, just be like, what are the things that make me feel beautiful? I think that's such a nice question. My friend used to always ask people that, like, what thing do you do that makes you feel the most beautiful? And the thing that what makes me feel so the most beautiful is when I'm like painting or singing or like smoking or like, do you know what I mean? That's or like hanging out with my loved ones and listening to people when they're loving you and giving you compliments. You're just not listening, because if you listened and if you looked, you'd see how desired you are and how adored you are. Do you know what I mean? Because usually when people compliment you, you don't really listen to it, and there's like this wall up, if you know what I mean. But next time someone compliments you, just look for next time someone compliments you, just really listen and take it on. Do you know what I mean? Because it's right there in front of you. You don't have to do anything or change anything about yourself.
And accept compliments as well.
Exactly.
You know, it's such a like, oh my god, no, I'm not. But it's so hard to accept compliments, especially if you're feeling that way. You're like, oh, that's not true.
We're so quick to believe like negative comments or critiques against us, like straight away.
Like, oh, I don't even want to go there. Remember.
But humans must naturally just like focus on the negative, and it's probably a survival instinct as well to like only take on and believe negative things about yourself.
I feel like especially when you're a woman, because it's like, for me, I'm just always like, I need to be critiquing myself constantly so I can be like there for other people and so I'm not as account to other people. Like if someone calls me like rude or like whatever, I'm like, no, because I'm like, it's like no one would call a man rude, first of all. It just annoys me so much. Sorry. But I've just been called rude a few times and it really affects me.
Who?
I don't know.
Like,
people just say like, this girl said to me, she was like complimenting me, being like, oh, I just want like, and like she didn't mean it a bad way, like she's really drunk. She was like, oh, like I just want to say like I love you so much. She was like, no matter what people say. And I was like, first of all, like what? And then she was like people may call you rude and stuff, but like I love you and I don't. And I was just like, I am so like, I genuinely like, fair enough if it's like people call you annoying or people like think you're art shit or something, because it's like okay, but it's like, I literally go out of my way to not be rude to people, and it stresses me out to be rude to people, where it's like, I remember I walked in when I was doing my gig to soundcheck and I didn't say hi to, was that you? No, that was Ellie.
No.
I walked into like when I was doing my gig to soundcheck and I forgot to say hi to one of the guys, and then I said to Ellie, I'm like, literally we'd never spoken, like, do you know what I mean? Like I
probably didn't even notice.
And then Ellie was like, he didn't say hi to you either, and I was like, that's so true, because I was like stressing it, like I get so stressed out, like being like I need to be kind to everyone and I make such an effort.
But we talked about this earlier as well. Even if we don't notice anymore, if like you have a tiny bit of following, it's not like the fucking Kardashians. I suppose in Ireland it's like a little bit bigger, but people place these expectations on you. If you met a new group of people and because they've heard of you before, they expect a lot more of you than they would from any other average guy. Like I've been called rude before by when I was pregnant because I sat down in the smoking area and left afterwards. Someone called me rude after that experience because I didn't say hi to them. I sat down and I left.
Where was this?
Like,
but I think people expect us to be like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Because it's a thing where it's like I've been trying to fit, and I really do obsess over like people, because it's always people calling me rude that really upset, like it hurts my feelings so much, because it's like I'm being mean, like,
and you can't defend yourself in that situation
really
either,
because I just never want to be mean, because like my literal mantra is like, as long as you're being kind, you're not doing anything wrong. As long as you're being true, you're not doing anything wrong. So it's like people calling me mean or like insinuating that I'm mean or stuff really like bothers me, because it's like I just like don't want to be that. And but I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, why? Because I think I've gotten a few times, but it's also because I'm really awkward and people don't expect me to be awkward, and I'm not confident in myself at all. And when people, I actually do dismiss people, but it's in like a shy, I don't want to talk to
as well, if you're putting yourself on the internet, people think you're super confident.
Exactly.
Whereas like normal people put videos up on the internet and they're shy.
Because as well, because you talk shit about people who you feel rejected by. And because I even know that for myself, if I meet someone and they're like kind of reject me or dismiss me a little bit, I'm like, they fucking hate me, or I'm like, oh, what a bitch or something. But then I go, oh no, they're probably just awkward. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm awkward. Like I actually do dismiss I dismiss people all the time because I'm like, I don't even realize how closed I am, but I'm so scared and I only want to talk to my friends and family. And like sometimes I ignore people because I'm just like, this is like, I avoid it, and I'm just like, this is too awkward, and I actually can't, like, just being like, hi, like, I don't know, I just hate.
How to avoid
having a shower.
I know, it's very therapeutic.
Is it still recording?
Yeah. Okay. Guys, I really want another one of Jason's
Nutri-Grain. Saoirse, take one.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Guys, I've had 2 of Jason's Nutri-Grain bars and I don't even like them, but like they're like, I just can't stop or something.
I'd do it. Fuck it.
No, I won't.
How to avoid losing identity in a relationship. Very prone to it.
Oh, guys.
I think,
I'm so bad at that.
Yeah, like I'm definitely like we said this before in podcast. We melt into who we're seeing. I don't know. I can't answer. Like I'm not giving very good advice either. Just I'm not answering things because I'm not going to give advice that I don't believe in. But I think when you're comfortable in yourself and you're like
question mark? Is that how I'm supposed to say?
Am I like comfortable?
I really
like would you think I'm comfortable in myself?
I remember, sorry, were you still talking?
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
I remember like with my last I was like on this floor.
The fling.
The fling.
My fling.
Yeah, I was on this. We were getting in a relationship or whatever. Oh my god!
Can you hold it? Was that my
just a terrible feeling of? It was actually in this house, this apartment.
Oh god!
And I just sunk onto the floor. Like I sunk onto the floor and put my head in my hands, and I just started being like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, what's wrong? And I was just like, I just feel like I'm sinking into you. And it's just like, because I really do that bad where I just like stare at my partner and like they don't look at me back, if you know what I mean. I just look at them and look at them and look at them and look at them while they're doing shit around the room and just stare at them, and I'll just do nothing else but stare at them, observing them the whole time. And it's like I turn into this shell of a person, like I don't exist. I turn into a ghost and I just observe them and I lose myself in them because I just want them to feel seen or something. And it was just horrible. And I literally, that was like one time it was like Ellie's, like we were supposed to go to Mum's or something for Ellie's something, and I couldn't go because I was too depressed.
Oh, I remember.
I just felt really shit, but it was actually fine in the end. But I actually don't know. Keelan.
I'm sorry about that. I actually don't know.
I think it's normal to melt in. I'd say give yourself time.
There's balance.
There's balance. So in the first 3 to 6 months, you're kind of still in your honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
And then once you get to like a year and a year and a half is when conflict starts to arise, and you'll realize how to resolve things. Sometimes you'll realize once you start fighting and there's like real fights between you, you'll realize how different the two of you are. And I think that's when you find your own identity. But if you're going on longer than that and you're still melting into the person, there's probably something wrong
for you.
No, not that they're not right for you, but like you don't have, you're codependent and you don't have any self-confidence. But I think give yourself a little.
Sorry, I just think that sometimes when people are talking, I just randomly blurt out words rather like to anyway.
I think that was in my head. I was just like, they're not right for you.
That's not what I was saying at all. But I think cut yourself some slack, because like it is normal to melt into your partner, and especially if they're doing it. Like there's loads of times guys have like pretended to be interested in things once we started speaking, and then after it didn't work out and I became friends with them or something, I'd be like, you don't like that at all. Like what are you? You're literally not like that at all.
I think it's so cute when you like first meet someone and then they tell you all these things, and I do it too. I remember saying to your man, I remember being like, I do yoga every day.
What?
Like I haven't done like I did yoga every day like a year before like moving out. Like I was like I still do that. Do you know what I mean?
I said that as well actually.
No, Emer.
I said, but you actually can't to lie. Like I was like,
I do a bit of yoga every morning, or like a few stretches. You know. When have I ever done that?
So funny, like, no,
Yeah, so good. That's another, like, it is a good question, but it's just like, I don't know.
as well, space. I don't know.
Just don't be afraid to have your own interests as well. Like, I was also embarrassed of watching
It's actually just, this question is actually just making me really upset because I just relate.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And you so desperately, like, you want to, like, the black mullet. When we bring it I got a black mullet. I got a black mullet and I looked terrible. I looked so bad. I wish someone had told me.
Writing graffiti. Are you joking?
No, that's my favourite.
Are you joking? I say, just like, make sure to keep up your own interests and don't to not be embarrassed of having your own interests, especially like women get shamed. I'm bringing it back to just like misogyny.
I know, but it always
women get shamed so much for for liking things, don't they? I'm sorry, don't they?
I'm so shamed about liking 1975.
Yeah,
like in every relationship except for one. Like the 1975 is my it's my everything. And in this new relationship, it took me so long for me to express how much I love the 1975 because I was so embarrassed. Because I was like, oh, this person is like really cool and like likes different music to me. So like I'd never tell him that I liked it. And then one day I was just like, I was drunk and I was just like, I have to come clean about something. I love the 1975. And then he was like, oh, like let's listen to it. Like, but it was because I was so used to being like shamed for liking them. And then like some of my exes would be like, they're so embarrassing, they're so cheesy, they're such shit music, why'd you listen to them? So like I could never express my love for this band, but like now the person that I'm with is like, oh my god, like I'm gonna listen to them and like, oh, I really enjoy them, and like like listens to songs like on his own accord.
Songs for does?
Like songs for 1975, do you know what I mean? So good. But like this person is like encouraging me to love them, and he was like, I love seeing your face light up when you watch them or when you listen to them, and it's like so nice because I never got that, and I used to have to hide it, but now I'm just like, I said it not knowing if he was going, like, it shouldn't be an issue of you liking a band, but do you know what I mean? It's like such a small minor thing that's like hiding it.
You do love someone for the things that they like and little things about them, not what you see in you and them. Wait, if you see, you love someone for who they are, not for what characteristics of yourself you see in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have to say that one again. Say it one
you
more
love
time.
someone for who they are, separate to what you see of yourself in them.
We'll have to write that down in my notes later, yeah?
Oh god.
Like, it's nice when you have stuff in common, but that's not, maybe you find common ground in that in the beginning when you're trying to make conversation, but that's not what you fall in love with someone for. And if you do, you're a narcissist. Like, that's weird, no?
Yeah. No,
and it's the same thing when you have narcissistic parents. They only love you for what they see of themselves in you, and not, say, if you have split up parents as well, and if they see any bit of their ex-partner, they fucking hate you for it, and that's narcissistic. Because you love your children for who they are.
I've actually had a good experience with that interest thing.
So, okay, songs 4-4.
Wait, I missed something.
But I never have a good experience.
Wait.
I was just saying that I've had a good experience with my partners encouraging me to
like your own things.
Like my own
That's
things.
good. That's good. Yeah.
This question.
So I'm very lucky, have I?
This question.
At least we've that. No.
My mum doesn't like me. I feel deep shame about it. Should
Okay,
I care? Is this about dot shame?
Obviously, sorry, I was about to do it and I didn't. Should I care? Of course not.
It's so hard though. Yeah, I can't answer.
We're not getting into it. We're not getting into that.
No, I'll start crying.
No, I can see the tears already, like, no. Feeling like you are growing out of your friend group but then afraid to be alone.
Oh my god, Queen. Never. Queen.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your life, you're wasting your time doing that.
Never, ever be in a relationship with someone.
No, friend group. It says friend group.
I know, but relationship with anyone. Like,
right, okay, yeah.
Because you're afraid of being alone. Like, never do that because, like, what, like, you're already alone, do you know what I mean? Not to be like that, but you're already alone. You're more alone in this friendship group, and like the amount I always think about, no offense to like my friends that were in secondary school, but they were just so not like me, and the amount I didn't do any art when I was in school because my friends didn't do it, and the amount of like, oh my god, like barriers there were just because I was in this friendship group that like they had completely different interests in me, and so I didn't know who I was. but what you're surrounded by, like you're a product of your friends, what you're surrounded by, like determines how much you'll grow and how much you'll fully lean into yourself. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be so much happier if you're like, just get in the habit of cutting people off, because you're always going to be changing in and out of relationships, and that's inevitable. Do you know what I mean? So get used to fucking cutting people off for the sake of yourself and for the sake of your growth, because you don't want to fucking stunt your growth because it's so boring. And you know those people that have been friends with the same people since they were young, and it's like they're the exact same person. You just don't want to be one of those people, you know. It's so boring.
It's such a waste. No, but it's such a waste of your life as well, and you are a reflection of the people around you. Say if like you're friends with a big group of girls who constantly are bitching about people, feeling bad about themselves, talking about cutting calories and like all of that shit, it's gonna affect you. Like no matter if you don't think it is affecting you, and it's affecting how you see the world and probably how you behave, and you won't see any change in your life unless you take action in your own life. Don't let these people control you. By you saying friends with these people, even though you know consciously that you don't like them, is letting them take over your life and like letting them control you in a way, because you're scared of being alone. Who fucking cares? Most people, even if they have loads of people around them, feel lonelier than they do when they're by themselves. And don't be scared of your own thoughts. Don't be scared to be by yourself. It might be hard in the beginning, but you will start to like yourself as well. And there's nothing more rewarding than being like comfortable in your own company, because let me tell you, from someone who has a baby and a husband who's living with someone constantly, I just before I met Jason, I was so in love with my own company, and I liked myself so much that now I crave for time on my own. But it's like stuff that's something I can't really get anymore, especially because I'm a breastfeeding mother and I'm her primary caregiver. I can't get any time alone, and even if I do, I'm worrying about her, so it's not even worth it. So just like before your life turns into like a nuclear family or whatever is expected from you in society, like once you start having kids, you will be grateful for the time that you spent on your own and the time that you spent getting to know yourself as well, because I really don't regret any of the time that I spent completely on my own, not meeting up with people, like not even meeting up, maybe even taking time from talking to my own friends. Like if they really care about you and if you want people to be in your life, they'll understand. Like me and Reese have gone through bouts of not speaking to each other because either he's depressed or I'm depressed, and we just like understand each other and have that mutual beneficial relationship where we know when we need space from each other, and we don't have expectations on each other to be constantly texting every single day to have that reassurance. And I have that with all my best friends, and I'm really thankful for it. And that's because we all know each other, and once you like yourself and you're comfortable in yourself, you're confident in yourself, you'll attract people like that into your life, and you won't know, your life will be completely upside down. Like you will experience true happiness and true content and true enjoyment once you actually take ownership of your life. People, because you will attract like-minded into your life as well. I've said life about 20 times. Life, guys, it's a crazy thing.
And also you'll be free. Like freedom is so important. Like freedom is.
And also like with the freedom.
Always
thing,
strive to be free. Always strive to be free.
Like if you're within a group and you feel like you're outgrowing them, you're always going to be way more conscious of what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're wearing, how you're acting, because you know yourself that you're not like them. And like I've had this experience myself, and it's not that they're bad people. They're not bad people, or they're not.
And you don't have to have fights to stop being friends.
And you don't have to have fights as well. And like if they take it the wrong way, that you're kind of outgrowing them, well, fuck them then. Like, you know what I mean? They'll see later. Like it happened with me. Like I was in a big group of girls. There was like 15 of us. We'd go on holidays together, and like I loved them all dearly, but I just knew I was different to them, and our interests were changing, and I felt so alone in a group of like 17 girls, and I didn't know what to do, and I just started stepping out of my comfort zone. And like I like would have like a friend, like obviously I had other like friends outside of that group. I, you know, go into town and go for like a coffee or a drink or lunch, or do something like that I wouldn't usually do with one of them, and you end up meeting new people along the way when you start to do stuff like that, like stepping out of your comfort zone. But like they would never do things like that with me. Like it would always be like kind of like
contained.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I would never have thought of that word. Like never, never thought of that word. But like you'll start to like really come to yourself as well, because when you're hanging around with people who like accept you for you and don't kind of question why you're doing this or why you're wearing that, or like why, like I remember when I started getting tattoos, one of the girls asked me, they're like, are you not going to regret them when you're older? I'm like, no, I want to be a tattoo artist. Why would I regret that? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just like, what'd you say?
I love that tattoo.
Thanks. It's actually pretty deadly, isn't it? Very deadly. But yeah, so sorry, I'm just like shiting on because I feel like I didn't say anything there. But like I've experienced that so much where, and then like like if they are being dismissive towards you and they're being kind of like bitchy, let them. Don't give them anything to be bitchy about. Let them be bitchy within themselves. And it does always come back. Like I genuinely have way more of a connection now with the girls that I used to hang around with, and we stopped hanging around like maybe 5 years ago, and I have more of a connection with them now than I did back then, because people grow up and, you know, sometimes you're way too mature or way more mature than the people you're hanging around with, and they need the time to mature themselves. And then when you're friends with them later on down the line, your energies will match. But like at the time, I was going down a different path, they were going down a different path, and now when I'm with them, I actually enjoy myself so much more, and I like want to meet up with them. And when I meet up with them, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so happy that we're now,
because you're not reliant on them either.
No, not at all. And I did notice like a lot, it was a kind of like, oh, like Emer's not hanging around with us anymore, and I could kind of feel the beefy side, but like just don't feed into it.
Yeah.
So like,
just let them, like if people think something of you, just be like, okay, I'll just be that to them, and then just let that sit with you. Do you know what I mean? Just be like, okay, they're gonna think that. That's great. Like that's who I am then to them. Do you know what I mean? It's grand.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm doing the right thing with my life? And how often should I wash my hair?
Yeah, I love the duality of this question.
That. Oh my god, that is so true. It actually
is
so true.
Like, I don't know.
That is so fucking true.
Well, I have extensions, so like I would wash my hair maybe once a week.
That's good.
Once a week.
Your hair never looks greasy either.
I don't like greasy hair.
But it's the bleach. I found that my hair is bleached, it never got greasy. Because it's so dry.
But it gets really itchy, and then I think I have nits all the time. So like literally, the boy was like, the other day I was like itching my head, and he's like, oh, itchy head, and I was like, yeah, do I have nits? I was like, I was itchy head. Obviously not like.
Whenever you describe like your conversation, is so funny because it's just like you're like, I'm just walking. He's like, oh, you walking?
But like, so true. Yeah, I would wash my hair maybe once a week.
I just wash my hair once it looks greasy, because sometimes I forget the last time I washed my hair, and I'm like, oh, I get really stressed out about it because it has to be longer than a 5-day gap. Otherwise I'm like, oh, I'll mess, you know, with that thing everyone's like, don't mess with the oil balance of your hair, don't wash your hair too often. But it's like, I just wash it when it's greasy, because I was so stressed out about it. I was like, no wait, maybe I should make it last longer. But then I'm like,
really
no, I can't do that, especially now because my hair.
Remember when you didn't wash your hair for like a year?
No, it was 3 months.
Oh yeah, it felt like longer.
It was, my hair was, no, in fairness, it really like my hair recovered so much. Like, look how long
I know your hair is insane.
Those 3 months, I think they saved my hair, because after I bleached it and then I fucked it up, and then I dyed it brown on top of that, and then I bleached it again over the dye brown. My hair was literally like, what the fuck are you doing? It was falling out and everything. So I just stopped. I stopped washing it for 3 months, so I had no chemicals or anything on it other than the warm water, and then brushing my hair out, obviously. But that like really recovered or like healed it, I suppose. But I did look so bad. Sorry.
No, you didn't look bad at all. I'm just saying my hair would be crawling with nits. Like I would get nits. Do you know what I mean? After me and Sasha went to the silent disco, that's when
when you got the intrusive thought that you have nits all the time.
Yeah, I got the intrusive thought that I had nits, guys, right? So, or will I save this for the live podcast?
Maybe save it for the live
podcast. Okay, I'll save it for the live podcast.
Because I'm sick of talking about itchy things, and they're going to make me start itching.
Yeah. Sorry, I say nits at least 15 times a day. All the time. Anyway, how do I know if I'm doing the right thing with my life? I feel like that's just kind of like are we all, what are we doing?
Yeah,
everyone has that. Like, there's no point.
Just follow, you know what I mean? I do loads of things all the time, and don't just confine yourself to one thing. Like, I do everything. Like, I get obsessed with something, and like, just follow, you know what I mean?
But you're one of those people, you're just like really good at stuff that you pick up.
Thanks, guys.
Even though if you don't, like, I obviously know that because I'm really close to you, but maybe from an outside perspective they don't feel like that, because you don't share much of yourself, even though you do make YouTube videos.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you. You don't share much of yourself online. I think from my own perspective of being your sister, it's just like your online self, even though I love it because I love your videos, you're so artistic or whatever, but you don't share how like actually talented and good at things you are, because you're always talking bad about yourself. And it's like you're inviting other people to criticize that too, even though you have so much talent, and like you're making an income now with gigs and all, but I would never see you say that on the internet being like, I'm actually making an income doing what I love, because you'd almost feel embarrassed saying that, because you don't want other people to feel bad about themselves by not being able to do that. It's like, sorry that you have to get a normal job or whatever, or that you hate your job, because you genuinely love what you do, and like you're making a living from it now, which is so good, but it's like you're scared to admit that for some reason.
Thanks, Keelan.
Do you know what I mean though? Because I don't know, it's like this is feel like yuppifying leadership. It actually has nothing to do with the question.
No, I know.
But it always, like, that sort of question always, even because you were talking about in the taxi today, you were like, I don't, everyone's like being mean to me for not having a job, and like, of course, sometimes
Who's being mean to you?
No one's being mean.
No, they're not.
I get stressed out.
Yeah, you get stressed out. But even if like, but you have to remember as well, like mom and dad were saying that to me when I was 6 months pregnant. They were like, I think you should get it. Well, dad wasn't, but mom was like, I think you should get a job. In Ireland as well, people are so ashamed for speaking well about themselves, because we have this like post-colonial self-deprecating thing,
Imposter syndrome,
always feeling, even if you are successful, like feeling shit about yourself, because people are out there like preying on your downfall, like just generally. Obviously if you have a platform, there's going to be more, you're inviting more people to prey on your downfall and like think negatively of you, but you just have to fucking ignore them, because like who cares? Like, why do they care, do you know? It's like sad for them, like you don't know anything about them, so who gives a fuck? But just like no matter what you do and how successful you get, just always remind yourself to be proud of yourself, because you're not going to get it from anyone else, and you don't need to know exactly what you're doing right now. Especially since I turned 25, it kind of, and after I had a daughter, like it made me more so relaxed and opened up opportunities for me, because I was able to use my early 20s to kind of just be like, oh, big question mark, like I have no idea what I'm doing, and I felt guilty about that. But now that I'm 25 and I have a baby, I'm like, I could actually do whatever I want, and there's nothing and I was so scared to have kids for that reason, because I thought my life would be over. And obviously when you're pregnant, you do have sort of doubts where you're like, oh my god, my life is over, I'm not going to be able to achieve anything ever again, my life is going to be completely turned upside down. Even though I was excited, it's just like the reality of being pregnant, those thoughts are going to cross your mind. But once I actually had her and I looked at her face, I was like, you've made me so motivated for life that like I could do.
Oh no.
It's just like such a big motivator to have her, you know? She's like an angel or something.
I'm such an ugly crier. Why is the camera on?
Keelan is going off on a fucking tangent.
No, but I just feel for this, even if that person is joking or whatever, but I just want to like shake everyone by the shoulders for anyone in their early 20s, just like, I don't know what to do with myself, or feeling bad about yourself, because you have so much time, like you have so much time and you can do whatever you want, like, and I wish I would never want her, especially my daughter, to like be worried about what other people think, or like be worried about what I think. I never want her to think that. So I want the same for people who are listening to this, to never like care what other people think, and just like do things that make you happy, because like you don't know what will happen tomorrow, or things can get scary or whatever, but all you have is just stupid shit. You can't just like do whatever you want for yourself, and like don't worry about anyone else. Because once you have, if you do plan, you don't have to have children, but like once I had her, I just want to be the best person for her, and I wish I said that to myself when I was on my own, even before she came. I wish I was just my best self for the purpose of being myself, because I deserve the life I want. Like I don't need it just for her, and you don't need to have kids to have that realization. I just wish that I had it before I had her. Like needed to cry for so long, especially with the whole, I never even told Emer about the thing.
I knew there was something.
I turned off the camera.
I knew there was something.
So it basically